Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about a topic that's often swept under the rug, something that weighs heavily but rarely finds a voice: a woman with no friends. Imagine a woman sitting by herself at a table in a world that constantly glorifies social connections. She has no circle to turn to, no shoulders to lean on. Some might look at her and see loneliness, but I see resilience. Sometimes solitude isn't a curse, it's a gift. A woman without friends isn't broken, she's on a path of self-discovery. When the world goes silent, she hears the whispers of her own heart. She learns who she truly is, free from the noise of others' expectations. That silence, it's where she grows, heals, and becomes unshakable. Resilience in solitude is a concept that speaks to the profound strength a person can cultivate when faced with periods of isolation. It is often in these moments of solitude, when one feels separated from the comforting noise of social interactions, that the deepest reserves of inner strength are uncovered. While society may often view solitude as a weakness or a deficiency, it can in fact be a transformative space where resilience is forged and self-reliance is born. When we are surrounded by others, it is easy to lean on them for support, to find comfort in their presence, and to seek validation in their approval. However, solitude removes these external sources of strength and forces us to look inward. In that silence, there is a unique opportunity to confront our fears, insecurities, and vulnerabilities. It is here that resilience begins to take root. Not through avoidance, but through confrontation. Solitude teaches us to face the parts of ourselves we may have otherwise ignored, and in doing so, it grants us a sense of empowerment that no external source could provide. Resilience in solitude is not about suppressing emotions or pretending that loneliness does not exist. On the contrary, it is about acknowledging those feelings and learning to sit with them. It is about understanding that moments of loneliness are a natural part of the human experience and that they do not define us. When we allow ourselves to feel deeply without judgment, we begin to develop emotional fortitude. This fortitude becomes the foundation of resilience, enabling us to navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and purpose. In solitude, one also learns to become resourceful. Without the immediate availability of friends or companions, a person is often compelled to develop solutions independently. This self-sufficiency strengthens problem-solving skills and builds confidence in one's ability to handle life's difficulties. It reinforces the idea that, while connections with others are valuable, the ultimate responsibility for one's well-being lies within oneself. This understanding is a powerful realization as it shifts the narrative from dependence to independence. Solitude provides the space for self-reflection and introspection, which are crucial for personal growth. In the absence of external distractions, there is a clarity that emerges, a clarity that allows us to evaluate our lives, our decisions, and our goals. This period of reflection can lead to a greater understanding of our values and priorities. It can help us identify what truly matters and what we are capable of enduring. When we take the time to know ourselves deeply, we become less susceptible to external influences and more grounded in our own truth. This grounding is the cornerstone of resilience. It is also important to note that resilience in solitude does not mean isolating oneself indefinitely or rejecting the value of relationships. Instead, it is about finding strength in oneself so that relationships, when they do come, are built from a place of wholeness rather than need. A resilient person in solitude understands that while connections are enriching, their sense of worth is not contingent upon them. This realization allows them to approach relationships with authenticity, free from the fear of losing themselves in the process. Solitude can also be a creative and productive space. Many people have discovered their greatest talents, passions, and innovations during times of isolation. When the distractions of the external world fade away, the mind is free to wander, imagine, and create. This creative freedom can be immensely rewarding and can serve as a reminder of the beauty that exists within the human spirit, even in the absence of others. Resilience in solitude is a testament to the human capacity for growth and strength. It is the ability to turn what might initially feel like a void into a wellspring of possibility. It is not about denying the challenges that come with solitude, but about embracing them and using them as a catalyst for transformation. The journey may not always be easy, but it is undeniably powerful, and it has the potential to reshape one's life in the most profound ways. Self-discovery and growth are processes that often unfold in the quiet moments of life, particularly during times of solitude. It is in these moments, away from the expectations and opinions of others, that a person can truly begin to understand who they are, what they value, and what drives them. While it can be daunting to spend time alone, it is also an invitation to embark on a journey of profound self-awareness and transformation. In the absence of external influences, we are granted the space to listen to our inner voice. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to get caught up in fulfilling roles, meeting obligations, and chasing goals that may not even align with our true desires. Solitude strips away these distractions and allows us to ask ourselves important questions. What do I truly want? What makes me happy? What are my core values? These questions, while simple, hold the key to understanding ourselves on a deeper level, and the answers often require us to dig beneath the surface, exploring layers of our identity that we may have never examined before. This process of self-discovery is not always comfortable. It can reveal truths that challenge our existing perceptions of ourselves and the world around us. It can force us to confront fears, regrets, and insecurities that we may have suppressed. Yet, this discomfort is a vital part of growth. By facing these challenges head-on, we gain clarity about what holds us back and what we need to overcome in order to move forward. Growth often requires us to step outside of our comfort zones, and solitude provides the perfect environment for this kind of introspection and transformation. Through self-discovery, we also begin to identify our strengths and talents. When we take the time to reflect on our experiences, we can recognize patterns in our behavior, moments of resilience, and areas where we excel. This recognition fosters a sense of confidence and self-worth that is not reliant on external validation. It reminds us that we are capable of achieving great things on our own terms, and that we have unique contributions to make to the world. At the same time, solitude allows us to explore new interests and passions. Free from the pressures of social expectations, we are more likely to try new things, experiment, and take risks. Whether it's picking up a creative hobby, diving into a subject we've always been curious about, or simply spending time in nature, these activities can spark a sense of curiosity and wonder that reignites our zest for life. In exploring these interests, we often discover hidden aspects of ourselves, talents we didn't know we had, joys we didn't know existed, and possibilities we didn't know were available to us. Growth is also about letting go of what no longer serves us. Solitude provides the clarity needed to recognize the habits, relationships, and mindsets that may be holding us back. It gives us the courage to release these burdens and make room for new opportunities. This process of shedding the old to make way for the new is a fundamental aspect of personal transformation. It allows us to step into a version of ourselves that is more aligned with our true potential. In solitude, we also develop a stronger sense of accountability. With no one else to rely on, we become responsible for our own happiness and well-being. This sense of responsibility is empowering because it teaches us that we have the ability to shape our own lives. We learn to set goals, make decisions, and take actions that align with our values and aspirations. Each step we take in this direction reinforces our sense of purpose and fuels our growth. Self-discovery often leads to a deeper understanding of our emotional landscape. When we spend time alone, we become more attuned to our feelings and the reasons behind them. This heightened emotional awareness helps us navigate relationships, challenges, and life's inevitable ups and downs with greater grace and resilience. It allows us to cultivate a sense of inner peace that is not dependent on external circumstances, but rather rooted in a deep understanding of ourselves. Self-discovery and growth are lifelong journeys. They are not about reaching a final destination, but about continually evolving, learning, and becoming. The beauty of solitude lies in its ability to provide the space and freedom needed to embark on this journey wholeheartedly. It is a reminder that within each of us lies the potential for transformation, and that even in the quietest moments, we have the power to grow into the best version of ourselves. Society's perception of solitude, particularly when it comes to women, is often layered with stereotypes, biases, and expectations. Women for centuries have been associated with their roles as nurturers, caregivers, and community builders, leading to the assumption that their worth is inherently tied to their connections with others. This societal framework frequently casts a shadow of judgment on women who are seen as solitary or who lack close-knit social circles, labeling them as lonely, incomplete, or even inadequate. However, these perceptions fail to recognize the depth, complexity, and empowerment that can come from solitude and independence. From a young age, girls are often socialized to value relationships and prioritize the needs of others. The ideal woman is frequently depicted as someone who is surrounded by a thriving network of friends, family, and colleagues, a person who is always available, always giving, and always connected. Media, literature, and cultural norms reinforce the narrative, showcasing women as the glue that holds relationships together. Consequently, women who deviate from this mold, choosing solitude or finding themselves without close friendships, are often misunderstood. They may be perceived as antisocial, unapproachable, or even broken, simply because they do not conform to the societal ideal of constant companionship. This perception is not only limiting but also harmful. It imposes an unrealistic standard that overlooks the diversity of human experiences and the unique paths that individuals may take. Women without friends are often subjected to intrusive questions and unsolicited advice, as though their solitude is a problem that needs to be fixed. Society tends to view them through a lens of pity, assuming that their solitude is unchosen or the result of some personal failing. This perspective dismisses the possibility that solitude can be a deliberate, empowering choice, a space where a woman can focus on her personal growth, passions, and goals without the distractions of external relationships. Societal perceptions of solitude are deeply intertwined with gender expectations. While men who embrace solitude are often admired for their independence and focus, women in similar circumstances are more likely to face criticism or suspicion. A solitary man is often seen as strong and self-reliant, while a solitary woman is frequently seen as lonely or isolated. This double standard reflects a broader cultural bias that views women primarily in relational terms, as though their value is tied to how well they connect with and care for others. These perceptions are slowly being challenged as more women reject the notion that their worth is determined by their relationships. In doing so, they are redefining what it means to lead a fulfilling life. Solitude, once stigmatized, is increasingly being recognized as a powerful tool for self-discovery, creativity, and independence. Women who embrace solitude demonstrate that it is possible to live a meaningful and joyful life without conforming to society expectations. Another important aspect of society's perception of solitude is how it intersects with cultural and generational differences. In some cultures, community and collectivism are highly valued, and solitude is viewed with suspicion or disdain. In others, individuality and independence are celebrated, making solitude more socially acceptable. Similarly, older generations may view solitude differently than younger ones, with younger women often feeling more empowered to reject traditional norms and carve out their own paths. Despite these shifting attitudes, many women still feel the pressure to conform to societal expectations. They may hesitate to embrace solitude fully, fearing judgment or rejection. The fear of being seen as an outlier can lead women to maintain superficial relationships or overextend themselves in social obligations, even when these connections do not bring them joy or fulfillment. This pressure to conform can be exhausting, detracting from the energy and focus needed for personal growth. The rise of social media has further complicated society's perception of solitude. Platforms like Instagram and Facebook often portray curated versions of life, where being surrounded by friends and engaging in constant social activities is celebrated. Women who do not fit this mold may feel invisible or inadequate, as though their lives are somehow less valuable because they do not align with these idealized portrayals. Yet, it is important to recognize that social media often presents a distorted view of reality, and solitude does not equate to a lack of value or purpose. Society's perception of women and solitude reveals more about collective biases than it does about the women themselves. It underscores the need to move away from narrow definitions of success, happiness, and fulfillment, and to embrace the diverse ways in which people navigate their lives. Women who embrace solitude challenge these perceptions simply by living authentically, proving that solitude is not a deficiency but a strength, a choice that allows them to focus on what truly matters to them without the constraints of societal judgment. Their example is a reminder that fulfillment comes in many forms and that true empowerment lies in living a life that is true to oneself, regardless of how it is perceived by others. Empowerment through independence is one of the most transformative experiences a person can embrace, and for women, it holds a particularly profound significance. In a world where societal norms often dictate that women should derive their strength from their relationships, their roles in the family, or their connections with others, choosing to stand independently can feel like an act of quiet rebellion. Yet, this independence is not just an assertion of autonomy, it is a declaration of self-worth, a journey into self-reliance, and a powerful reminder of the strength that comes from within. Independence is not simply about physical or financial autonomy, though these aspects are undeniably important. It is also about emotional and psychological freedom, an ability to rely on oneself for validation, strength, and direction. This form of independence begins with the realization that a woman's worth is not tied to external sources, such as a partner, a social circle, or societal approval. Instead, it is rooted in her own sense of self, her unique abilities, and her inner strength. To truly embrace empowerment through independence, a woman must first break free from the narratives that have historically confined her. These narratives often suggest that women should depend on others for support, protection, or decision-making. They reinforce the idea that independence is isolating, risky, or unfeminine. However, when a woman steps into her independence, she begins to see these narratives for what they are, limitations imposed by a world that benefits from her dependence. In rejecting these notions, she reclaims her agency and her ability to shape her own life. Financial independence in particular plays a crucial role in this process. The ability to earn, manage, and control one's finances is a powerful form of empowerment. It allows a woman to make choices that align with her values and goals without being constrained by financial reliance on others. This freedom extends beyond practical decisions and into the realm of self-respect and dignity. A woman who is financially independent knows that she is capable of standing on her own, and this knowledge reinforces her confidence in every other area of her life. Independence is not just about self-sufficiency. It is also about the freedom to explore, grow, and evolve without being confined by the expectations of others. It is about having the courage to pursue one's dreams, even if those dreams do not align with traditional paths. This pursuit requires resilience and determination, but it also brings with it a sense of fulfillment and pride that cannot be matched. Each step taken toward independence, no matter how small, reinforces a woman's belief in her own strength and potential. Another important aspect of independence is the ability to set boundaries. Empowerment through independence means having the strength to say no to situations, relationships, or commitments that do not serve one's well-being. It is the ability to prioritize one's own needs without guilt or fear of judgment. This act of self-preservation is not selfish. It is a necessary part of living a balanced and fulfilling life. By establishing boundaries, a woman creates space for herself to thrive and grow, free from the pressures of pleasing others or conforming to societal expectations. Independence also fosters a deeper connection with oneself. When a woman is not reliant on others to define her identity, she has the freedom to explore who she truly is. This self-discovery is a deeply empowering process, as it allows her to embrace her unique strengths, passions, and aspirations. It also cultivates a sense of inner peace as she learns to trust herself and her ability to navigate life's challenges. In this way, independence becomes not just a practical necessity, but a source of personal joy and fulfillment. The journey to empowerment through independence is not without its challenges. It often requires unlearning deeply ingrained beliefs and stepping into the unknown with courage and determination. It may involve moments of doubt or fear, especially in a society that sometimes views independent women with skepticism or judgment. Yet, it is precisely in overcoming each obstacle faced and overcome becomes a testament to a woman's resilience and strength, reminding her that she is capable of achieving far more than she once believed. Empowerment through independence is about reclaiming the narrative of one's life. It is about recognizing that dependence, whether emotional, financial, or social, does not define a woman's worth. Instead, her worth is intrinsic and her independence is an expression of that truth. This empowerment radiates outward, inspiring others to seek their own independence and challenging societal norms that seek to limit women's potential. Listen. By embracing independence, a woman not only transforms her own life, but also contributes to a broader cultural shift. She becomes a role model for others, demonstrating that true empowerment comes from within, and that every woman has the right to live a life defined by her own choices, values, and aspirations. Independence, far from being isolating, is a pathway to freedom, strength, and the realization of one's fullest potential. Hope and new beginnings embody the essence of resilience and the ability to move forward even when faced with challenges or uncertainties. They remind us that life is a continuous journey of renewal, where every setback, loss, or moment of doubt can be transformed into an opportunity for growth, change, and a fresh start. For women, especially those navigating solitude or the complexities of societal expectations, hope and new beginnings are powerful symbols of strength and possibility. Hope is a deeply personal and transformative force. It often emerges in moments of difficulty when the path ahead seems unclear or overwhelming. In those moments, hope becomes the quiet voice that whispers, "You can try again," or "This is not the end." It provides the courage to look beyond current circumstances and believe in a brighter future, even when the present feels heavy. For women who have experienced isolation, rejection, or failure, hope can serve as a guiding light, showing them that their story is far from over and that there is always potential for renewal. New beginnings, on the other hand, are the tangible manifestations of hope. They are the moments when a woman decides to step forward, take a risk, or embrace change, even if the outcome is uncertain. New beginnings are not always grand gestures or dramatic life changes. Sometimes they are as simple as choosing to approach the day with a fresh perspective, setting a new goal, or letting go of something that no longer serves her. Each small decision to start anew builds momentum, reinforcing the belief that she has the power to shape her own destiny. One of the most beautiful aspects of new beginnings is their ability to redefine a narrative. Society often pressures women to adhere to specific timelines or milestones, whether in their personal or professional lives. When those expectations are not met, it can create a sense of inadequacy or failure. However, hope and new beginnings remind us that life is not a linear journey. It is filled with twists, turns, and unexpected opportunities. A woman who embraces this truth understands that every ending, whether it's the conclusion of a chapter, the loss of a relationship, or the failure of a venture, holds the seeds of a new beginning. It is in these moments of transition that she can rewrite her story and discover strengths she never knew she had. Hope and new beginnings also cultivate a sense of empowerment. They shift the focus from what has been lost or what went wrong to what can be gained or created. This perspective allows a woman to see herself as the author of her own life, capable of turning challenges into opportunities and obstacles into stepping stones. By embracing hope, she acknowledges that setbacks are temporary and that her potential is limitless. Through new beginnings, she actively takes steps toward realizing that potential, creating a life that aligns with her dreams and values. The journey toward hope and new beginnings often requires self-reflection and courage. It may involve facing fears, acknowledging past mistakes, or confronting the uncertainty of change. Yet it is through this process that growth occurs. A woman who dares to hope and embrace new beginnings is not denying the difficulties of her circumstances. Rather, she is choosing to rise above them. She is recognizing that while she cannot always control what happens to her, she can control how she responds and what she does next. This mindset also fosters a sense of gratitude and optimism. By focusing on the possibilities ahead rather than dwelling on the challenges of the past, a woman can appreciate the beauty of starting fresh. She can celebrate the progress she has made, no matter how small, and find joy in the journey of becoming. Hope and new beginnings encourage her to view life as an ever-evolving canvas, where each new day offers an opportunity to paint a different picture. Another important aspect of hope and new beginnings is their ripple effect. When a woman chooses to embrace hope and take steps toward a new beginning, she inspires those around her. Her resilience and determination become a source of encouragement for others, showing them that change is possible and that it is never too late to start over. In this way, hope and new beginnings not only transform her own life, but also create a positive impact on her community and beyond. Hope and new beginnings are a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. They remind us that no matter how difficult the journey may be, there is always the possibility of renewal and transformation. For women, these concepts are especially powerful as they offer a pathway to reclaim their narrative, redefine their identity, and build a life that reflects their true potential. Hope is the spark, and new beginnings are the actions that bring that spark to life, illuminating the way forward. Together, they represent the boundless possibilities that exist within each of us.